Hi, Vintage Guitar people. Welcome to Have Guitar Will Travel, presented by Vintage Guitar Magazine. With your host, me, James Patrick Regan, otherwise known as Jimmy from the Deadlies. And today I'm speaking again with Cesar Gueikian of Gibson, recently named brand president, actually the day after this interview. Clearly a man that is passionate about Gibson and guitars. In our discussion, we cover COVID in the Gibson family, the acquisition of Mesa-Boogie, the fate of other brands under the Gibson umbrella like Tobias and Maestro, the artist model program at Gibson, the vision for Gibson and Epiphone as Epiphone reaches its 150th birthday, and the availability of the guitars. The return of the archtop at the custom shop. The return of NAMM and Gibson's continued involvement. The Gibson Garage, a showcase for Gibson products and all things Gibson. Trademark infringement. Cesar's personal guitar collection. Cesar's taste in music. He's learning the new Tool album. Some of the challenges that Cesar faces as the leader of the Gibson brand and some of his pastimes. You can find out more about Cesar and Gibson at Gibson.com. That's Gibson.com. Please like, comment, and most of all share this podcast. I'd really appreciate it, and Vintage Guitar Magazine would surely appreciate it. And please support Vintage Guitar Magazine and all the wonderful things they do for us guitar players, because they do so many wonderful things for us guitar players. Here's Cesar.
Cesar speaking.
Hey Cesar, this is James from Vintage Guitar Magazine. How are you?
Hey James, good. How are you?
How's everything going for you?
All good here. And you?
Good. Are you in Nashville?
Yeah. Where are you based?
I'm in Napa, California.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nah, well, it's not quite as fun and exciting during COVID, but yeah.
Right.
I can't complain.
Right.
How's COVID treating you?
We're good. We're personally all good. Family great.
Good.
And I still get a chance to go. I go to the office. I'm in the office every day. JC and I are together every day, and the factories are up and running and working, and we've got everybody in there. So following all kinds of protocols. But
of course.
It's been working well.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm an Instagram follower of yours, so I see you.
Okay.
You managed to go out skiing, which is pretty impressive.
To go out skiing? Yeah. I did.
Where did you go? Where did you go to go skiing?
We did after a little family trip to a place called the Yellowstone Club out in Montana.
Oh, okay.
About an hour from Bozeman. It neighbors with Big Sky.
Okay, very good.
It was actually, we went for a week and we got there on a Sunday. I ended up working Monday through Friday, all day, nonstop.
Sure.
And then Friday afternoon and Saturday I skied with the family a little bit because I was closing the acquisition of Mesa-Boogie. So then I was able to do a little bit of Friday and all Saturday, and then Sunday we flew back. So
wow, not much skiing.
The family had a great time, and
exactly.
Look, I can't complain because it ended up all working out, and we closed the acquisition of Misa-Boogie.
Very good. A company that's just up the street from where I am, basically.
Yeah, correct. You're right. Exactly, in Petaluma.
What led to that acquisition? I'm not a Mesa-Boogie user, only because it seems like their amps are kind of all over the map. They lost the luster of when they first came out, and Keith Richards was using them, and all the good guys were using them back then. What led to the acquisition, Gibson acquiring them?
Well, we were interested in looking in a brand, in an amplifier brand, to get back into amps. We were looking for an amplifier brand, and before even talking to others, we looked at JC and I spent a fair amount of time together, and I said, look, we need, what's the brief, right? We want American made, we want brand podium, we want quality, craftsmanship, custom shop build, and a brand that's respected by the artist community, that is being preserved tact, and that basically all those concepts led to Mesa-Boogie.
Okay. Very good.
And so I had a great relationship since we started at Gibson with them, and I called Randy and the team, and I said, hey, can we talk? And we started a conversation on the topic a year before we ended up doing anything. So spent a lot of time there with them, getting to know each other, and that led to ultimately us coming together.
That's great. That's fantastic. Are there other facets of the music industry that you're looking to get back into, so to speak?
No.
Nope. Okay. Very good.
No.
And you're going to continue with brands like Tobias?
Yeah, Tobias is another brand that we are going to relaunch as a not just overseas but also American made, and go back to the DNA of the brand, just like we did with Epiphone and Kramer, and we're going to do this next year with Maestro.
Okay. Oh, very good. The artist releases that you've been doing, like the Tom Petty J200, which is just a gorgeous guitar.
Yes.
And then recently the
Slim Harpo.
Yes, exactly, the Slim Harpo. Are you going to continue with models like that? How extensive is going to be the artist inspired models that you're doing?
Well, as you know, we have the Slash collection, and we're going to continue to build that now, both across Gibson, but also launching the Epiphone version to the Slash collection. So the Epiphone brand will come into the Slash collection. Just as a matter of principle, I'll tell you, our artists are going to continue to play a critical role in what we're doing.
Sure.
Both from collections and guitars into the collections, but at the same time in terms of generating energy and engagement and entertainment across our media platforms, whether it's the social channels, whether it's Gibson TV, and other things that we're going to be doing going forward. So that's why we launched the Gibson Alliance. It has around 30 or so icons in there. And icons, I mean, not just the Slash and Adam and all these Dave Mustaine, etc. It also has our youngsters. It's got
Jared James.
It's got Jared. We have Kirk Douglas in the Gibson Alliance, and then on the other hand, you have Alex Lysa, and then you have Slash, and then you have we want to have a really good balance of young future icons, let's call them that way, and the established icons that have been an inspiration for so many of us for so long.
Yeah.
And so the answer is we are a new Gibson with a culture of being artist driven, because they are the ones that carry the flag, right, ultimately, and they are the ones that inspire the rest of the world to pick up and play a guitar.
Sure. So
that's going to continue to be central to our strategy.
Very good. And Gibson certainly is an aspirational brand where people, that's the goal. The people want, and those are the guitars that people want to get. And Epiphone is going to continue as it is sort of a more easily acquired guitar, price range wise?
Well, Gibson is that shape of sound, really, 127 years shaping sound across genres and generations and gender, really. And it is aspirational, authentic, premium. Epiphone is the authentic, accessible brand. And you saw what we did with Epiphone with the relaunch of the brand.
Sure.
And then the introduction of the Epiphone inspired by Gibson collection.
Yes, exactly.
Which is royally sold out. So you're right, and to me, I see them that way. Epiphone as the brand that is for every stage, and you see a lot of our young kids picking up an Epiphone Les Paul or an Epiphone SG, and every other Epiphone inspired by Gibson, because the price to the quality of the build is unmatched. If you read the reviews, it's not me saying it, it's all the reviews out there. So I am actually very encouraged by the future of Epiphone and Epiphone inspired by Gibson. But then at the same time, Epiphone is the older brother as a brand to Gibson. And as we approach the 150th anniversary of Epiphone, to me also it deserves to have that fuel of the USA-made Epiphones that are going to go back to pay tribute to those very iconic instruments that, the Beatles, that Keith Richards, that Bob Dylan, that all the other artists played that were USA-made Epiphones. And so you saw that we're doing the USA-made Casino, the USA-made Texan that's already out. We're going to be releasing the USA-made Epiphone Frontier, and so that's the fuel aspect of Epiphone, being that authentic brand. But really, the core of Epiphone is the accessible brand for every stage.
I was very excited to see the Coronet and the Crestwood and the Wilshire being released. Those are fantastic guitars. Very exciting.
And they're solid wood. They're they're amazing to play. They're easy to play. They're simple. Like they're iconic, and the quality of them is impressive.
Absolutely. Are those available right now?
Yeah, we've been really sold out of those. So if you go to the website, and you'll probably see them sold out, and we're trying to catch up with the demand, but they are out now.
Okay, good, fantastic. Is there going to be a way to buy Gibsons directly from Gibson at some point?
We've had that for a very long time already on our website.
Okay, very good. Very good. All right, any chance that you guys are going to start doing archtops other than the 335s and the 345s and 355s? Are you going to go back to doing like ES5s and anything like that?
Yeah, we're working right now on plan at the custom shop to get set up to go back into archtops and develop an archtop collection, a full archtop collection. So that's in the works.
Oh, very good. Very good. Before you took over, you guys, Gibson released the Ranger Doug model, or it didn't release it. You did prototypes. It never got released, and it was just it was a gorgeous guitar, an absolutely gorgeous guitar.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about the archtop collection. Matt Kaler has been leading the development of that together with our team in the custom shop, led by Sergio on the manufacturing side. And we're getting prepared and set up and tooling in the factory to make them. They're very intricate instruments to make. Yeah. We make, as you know, we were obviously made in USA, we're handmade, and those instruments are such that, we are going to be very focused on detail.
Of course.
And focus on the historic element on them. So you're going to see, we're going to take the right amount of time to develop a really amazing crafted collection of archtops. So we're still at least 12 months away from showcasing anything.
Okay, very good. What are your thoughts as far as NAMM? Are you guys considering it for the fall, or I should say January?
Oh, we're not considering it. We're in.
Oh, okay.
NAMM for us, we're one of the biggest supporters of NAMM, of our partners of the industry, and we welcome the opportunity to do more and more and more with Joe and the entire NAMM team. So expect to see Gibson, Epiphone, Kramer, Mesa-Boogie going forward, and all of our brands being highly represented with a big presence at NAMM.
Okay, very good. I'm glad to hear that. You guys do a great job. I mean, bar none. You guys are the flagship company at NAMM.
I think we have not only an opportunity when we go to NAMM, but an obligation as Gibson brands, as Gibson as a company, to be there, just to lead the industry. If we are guilty of being tagged with that responsibility, we'll take it.
What about sourcing wood? Like trying to find Carina. Have you been able to find any Carina?
Yes.
You have? Oh, good. Mandolins, are they going to be continued to made in Nashville? Not
only continue to made, but it's part of the strategy together with Archtops to develop a mandolin collection, a full-blown mandolin collection. We're bringing a new luthier, highly experienced luthier in, and he's working with Matt Kaler and Sergio in the custom shop together. It's a parallel path of archtop collection and mandolin collection to get Gibson to go back to owning bluegrass.
Also very good.
We're there. I mean, we were at the forefront of the creation of the genre, and we're going to make the Gibson Garage that we're launching, that's built already, and it's going to be opening up soon. Our intention is to make that the center point for mandolins and bluegrass.
The Gibson Experience showroom, did that ever?
That's it.
That's it. Okay, good.
Yeah, that's the Gibson Garage, which is about 10,000 square feet in the Gulch of Nashville. That's already built. We're going to start teasing that soon. We're going to start doing some shows out of the Gibson Garage.
Oh, very good.
And we're going to be announcing relatively soon when we're going to be doing the public opening.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Any chance that I haven't heard the Summer NAMM, is that going to take place?
I don't know yet. I don't know that anybody knows.
Okay.
But around the summertime is when we're going to be opening up the Gibson Garage, and we're going to be working. Basically, we're going to be unveiling the Gibson Garage to the world.
Okay, excellent. I'm very excited about that. That sounds like it's going to be big fun. Trademark infringement. How difficult is that to deal with on your end?
Trademark is very difficult because it's an issue that it's really never going to go away, right? I mean, all big brands have been doing this for 20 years across multiple brands around the world. all big brands have to deal with it. It's both trademark infringement and counterfeiting of overseas instruments coming in. We get weekly shipments out of U.S. Customs of counterfeits attempting to come in.
Really?
And obviously that then subsequently get destroyed. It's an issue. It's an issue every brand deals with. Our objective is to protect our fans, really, of when they buy a Gibson guitar, to make sure they're buying a Gibson guitar.
Yeah, absolutely.
And protect our fans and our consumers so that they, one, don't get ripped off, and two, don't get confused. Yes. Gibson is Gibson. It's made by Gibson, and we put a lot of money and time, and we JC and I have made major significant investments into our guitars, into how they're made, into quality, into craftsmanship, and it's all in service to delivering the highest quality guitar that we've ever made in the history of the company to our fans. And so it's all ultimately, when we talk about this topic, it's ultimately all to protect our fans and make sure that when they pick up a Gibson guitar, they say, oh my gosh, I know now why I'm paying the price for a Gibson. This is an amazing instrument. And that's what we want. That's our aspiration, is that they say that. I am not the one saying that. I want our fans to say that when they pick up a guitar. And that's why we are obsessed that much with quality.
As a fan, I think you're doing a great job. How many employees are you guys employing right now at the factory in Nashville?
It's a good question. I think overall we have about 1,300 people.
Wow, that's impressive. And a personal question: how many guitars do you have, and how many of them are Gibsons?
I think I have around 120 guitars now.
120?
More or less, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe a few more, but about 120 guitars. You mean in my personal collection?
In your personal collection, yes.
Yes. So I have about 120, and I have a handful that are not Gibsons, Spanish guitars, and primarily Spanish guitars. And the rest are all Gibson.
Very good. The highlight of the Gibsons that you have, what would that be? Is there a highlight?
My highlights, I guess, let's see. 1936 first electric guitar, ES-150 Charlie Christian.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
57 Les Paul, 59, 60, 64 335, just like Clapton's, exactly the same. TDC. 67 Pelham 330, my 79 Silver Bursts. I have two 79 Silver Bursts. I have a 79 Silver Burst Flying V. I just got one very unique guitar. It's a 1962 Les Paul.
Oh, wow.
Double cut.
Oh, wow.
It's not an SG shape.
Oh.
It's the one that should not be. It's a 1962. Imagine the 1960 Les Paul Special double cut.
Yep.
But it's a 1962 guitar. So it's that guitar in 1962. And it doesn't say Les Paul on the headstock because the name was taken by the SG shape.
Sure. That
was called a Les Paul. And my very good friend Bill Goldstein from All Grace Vintage called me and said, I have this guitar from 1962. And so I looked it up on the ledger. He sent me the serial number, and I looked it up, and there it was.
Wow.
It's listed on the ledger. It's a batch of, I believe there's like 5 back-to-back guitars. And the really cool thing about it is it says, and this is the first time that I see it on the ledgers, it says SG Special.
Oh, wow.
So I think what happened is that they had these Les Paul bodies left from 1960, because when we were doing that exact same guitar in 1960, the same color in the cherry. We had that guitar from 1960. They were lying around in the factory, and somebody said, hey, I'll take them. And so they did a custom order of 5 of them, and they shipped, and they didn't know what to call them.
Yeah.
So that's the first time I see that they call them SG.
That's fantastic.
So I have that guitar here with me. Then when I saw it on the ledger, I said, Bill, I'm buying it. But I have 77 Explorer. I have 120 guitars. So, and then a lot of the new stuff I've been getting, and 74 white custom, just like Randy's, and a lot of Flying V's. I love Flying V's. I love Explorers.
Yes,
Explorers. The biggest part of my collection is Les Pauls.
Okay.
But I have a little bit of everything. 61 Les Paul as well, so which is the SG.
How hard is it to not take home one of every model?
It's hard, but I like every once in a while, I'll keep something special. But, on the other hand, also, I want to make sure that we're prioritizing our fans. We're always sold out of, large, right? But also with all the artist runs. So
Sure.
I try to be very cautious of that. And even if I take something, I actually buy it just to make it clear. And JC and I not only do that, we're always, putting a lot of our own personal foundation to make sure we're giving back. And so, we're very sensitive of that. We like to do it that way.
Yeah, of course. And as far as the music that you're listening to these days, what are you listening to? Because this is what always like heavy metal.
I love heavy metal. I continue to, whether it's Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Alice in Chains, the new stuff that Slash is doing with the Conspirators, Tool. Everybody knows I'm a massive lover of all the music those guys put out. And most recently, I've been really working on the new Tool album and getting through being able to know all the songs. So I've been focused on my very limited free time also on learning all the odd time signatures and getting through all those songs. I've been able to get through and play through Invincible, Pneuma, Descending, and I'm almost done with Tempest. So that's been doing that recently, but I continue to love Black and Alice in Chains and Iron Maiden and Judas Priest. Spent a lot of time with Richie, who's a dear friend of mine, and all the stuff that James Nichol's been doing. I love Nick Perry. Nick Perry's new album, San Via, is I'm obsessed with that album.
Okay, great.
Emily Walt's new album is amazing. I have it on vinyl. I play it all the time.
Great.
So yeah, I'm there's a band called Dirty Honey, which is one of my favorite new bands.
Absolutely. I just saw, right before COVID started, I saw them in San Francisco at Slim's in San Francisco, and they they just blew the doors. That was such a great band.
I love them.
Yeah. Likewise. Okay, so Iron Maiden, Paul Di'Anno or Bruce? Which one?
Bruce. No question for me. Bruce.
But Paul Di'Anno is like the Tom Jones of heavy metal.
I get it, but I think what Bruce has done and the collaborations he's done as well beyond Maiden, I think he's in Lord status for me.
Okay, very good. I bow to that. How much time do you have to play guitar in a day? Or whatever.
Oh no, but in a day, none. The average wouldn't be zero because I do get some time to play on the weekends a little bit here at my house, but during the day I'm early. I'm in the office normally before 8, so 7:30 or so, and I'm there very late. I'm there until 8-9 p.m. and it's 12 to 14 hour days, so my time is very limited. If I do something, if I post it, it's something that I did over the weekend, or maybe I do come home and it's almost midnight by the time I get to do a video and post it, so it's limited.
And as a CMO, how much time do you have to spend with your family? It's difficult for me to imagine how much time you could make time for your family.
It's not a lot. And they're very understanding, but when the weekend comes, I do try to spend all my time with them.
Yeah, sure. How long have you lived in Nashville now?
I've been here for 2.5 years. At the beginning commuting, and then for the last year we've been here full time. We moved and relocated, put the kids in school here. So 2.5 years, and then with my family full time here, exactly 1 year.
Okay, and they like the Nashville lifestyle?
Yeah, they're fully integrated with Nashville and the community and the schools, and my kids with their friends at school. So that's always very tricky, right? And so we spent extra attention on that, and it's worked out really well.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. And then back to the company. Is there an end game for KK&R? Is there an end game as far as Gibson? Are they looking to, I don't know, take the company public or cash out at some point?
It's not in the discussions because there is no time frame on it. So now with the changes we've made and the growth path we're in, I think the objective is to continue to do it. Stay on track, continue to be pursuing this objective we have of being the most relevant, played and loved music company in the world without any regard or conversation or pressure about what comes next. So I think we have many, many years ahead of us with our majority owner, continuing to be a majority owner. And then beyond that, look, I mean, it will be just maybe, I don't know if it's 10 or 15 years from now, there'll be a change of who the majority owner is, but nothing will change in who we are and what we're doing.
Okay, that's great news. Anything surprise you? Anything catch you off guard in the 2 years or 2.5 years that you've been in charge?
We knew a lot about what was happening at Gibson way before we took charge. So we came into it, I would say, with our eyes open and a fair amount of information. So we were prepared.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time listening. So both to our teams and our luthiers and our craftsmen and women, as well as going on the listening tour with our partners, our dealers, our artists. So I think by virtue of how we approached our entry, which was very much in learning mode, listening mode, without pretending to know it all, and then developed our strategy in partnership with our artists, with our dealers, and prioritizing our teams. I think it sort of organically developed to the strategy that we're pursuing today. So no, I would say that it was more the approach we took basically took care of that. Otherwise, we probably would have been full of surprises.
Sure. And the biggest challenge that you've had so far? The
biggest challenge?
You can say keeping up with demand.
Well, no, beyond that, which everybody knows. I mean, definitely keeping up with the demand. But I think personally the biggest challenge has been what you asked me, which was the balance with, or the lack thereof, on the personal equation for both JC and I, because our families had to understand that.
Oh yeah.
You know, we were going to be fully devoted to this, to turn it around and bring Gibson back, right? Everybody wanted to see Gibson back, and we had, in both our cases, families that were like, you know what, this is a noble cause, and we get it, and we're going to support you, and that was the biggest challenge. I think JC would probably say the same thing.
Okay. And did COVID do anything for you to be able to spend more time with your family, or you still had to work?
No, COVID put us in a full on challenge. So that was a very big challenge.
Yeah.
And that led us having to be even more involved and connected and doing even more to communicate more and connect our teams globally. Yeah. So COVID meant more time, more work. We were shut down for a few months, and that introduced challenges. But, you know, with our approach of launching what we called our agility plan and be prepared for that, very quickly, you know, turned our teams around and put us in a state of readiness for impact from you know, COVID for the, I guess, the unexpected outcomes of COVID. So we said, okay, let's be prepared for the unexpected, but at the same time, let's be prepared for opportunity as soon as that presents itself.
Yeah.
And so we did. That was our approach to COVID. And we are now in a situation where we were in this before COVID in back order. And clearly during COVID, a lot of people around the world picked up a new hobby or learned a new skill, and guitar was definitely in that mix.
Oh yeah.
So it accentuated the back order situation, and and it extended the lead times now for new orders.
Wow. That's a good place to be in, I suppose.
It is, but not for too long, right? Otherwise, you start creating frustration.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I really appreciate your time. I should ask you another personal question. What do you do when you do have some free time other than guitar, of course? We talked about skiing. Are there any other pastimes that you have?
Yeah, I've been learning how to play the piano.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
I got it myself. My wife insisted, and I was like, you know what? Let's do it. She insisted that we get a Steinway.
Very good.
Which we did, and then I've been learning how to play the piano, and so have my kids.
Oh, great.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, but I love skiing, heli skiing. I'm a snowboarder. I like surfing when I can get a chance to go somewhere like that, and dirt biking. But most recently, really during COVID, it's been learning how to play the piano.
Okay, great. And when you surf, where do you go? Where's your favorite place to surf?
The three favorite places that I've gone now many times are Maui, Chile, and Fiji.
Oh, wow. I haven't heard anybody. Well, I know that people surf in Chile, but is there a special place in Chile where you surf?
Chile, the entire coast has epic waves of
really?
epic proportions.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
it's one of the best places in the world. It's cold water, but it's got some of the best waves in the world.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, thank you for your time, Cesar.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, James. Take care.
Yeah, you as well. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening to Have Guitar Will Travel. You can catch up on all the things I'm doing at thedeadlies.com. And I'm on all the social media platforms as well. And please support Vintage Guitar and all the wonderful things they do, because they do many, many wonderful things for us guitar players. Thanks. Please subscribe. Please tell a friend. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.